What's good, sports gamers? Today I'll be going over with you how to turn into a ball hawk on defense by showing you how to capitalize on careless ball handlers and showing other opportunities you might not put into practice that you can take advantage on to create turnovers consistently in NBA 2K22 on current and next-gen consoles. So alright, let's get it. Have you ever played somebody who seems to be all over the court causing mayhem? You have to know how to have this same effect on your opponent, at least moderately. And that starts with being comfortable switching on to other defenders quickly. What you do by hitting RB or R1 on your controller and then their icon to switch to a specific player. There's also hitting X or A to switch to the closest player to the ball. Or after hitting RB or R1, then hit L1 or LB on your controller to switch to the guy closest to the basket to attempt to make a play on a potential target. This is the start of how opponents make it feel like they're everywhere because they're so quick with switching to guys who can then be used to force a turnover by taking advantage of an opportunity. And you're only helping yourself the more you get comfortable switching to different guys all over the court. Now, to put this into play to dominate off the ball, you want to get familiar with getting in the ball handler's passing lane. If you're playing on ball, you notice a guy next to him is open and you're the closest guy that can do something. Don't be afraid to outright abandon your man to jump in the passing lane to create a turnover opportunity. If you're in the middle of a fast break chaos, break off of your assignment to roam a little bit while your guy isn't a scoring threat yet can easily get you some chances at the ball. Or something simple like just positioning yourself between the ball handler and his target as they come up the court, or wedging yourself between the roller and the ball handler on a pick and roll. So as long as you make sure you're between the ball handler and his target or potential target, I should add, you can catch guys who only focus on their target and not where the defender is actually positioned. There's a good chance you're going to deflect or intercept the pass. Next is, I don't know if you know this, but you can generate steal opportunities in the post when the ball handler turns around for a scoring opportunity and exposes the ball by simply hitting X or square on your controller. Whether it's from a regular matchup or when you 100% should be doing this if you don't want to intentionally foul, which is when you're at a severe disadvantage, hitting the steal button once the defender starts to attack is a good way to create turnovers for yourself. Now, it won't always work and you may leave yourself open for something easy as you flail at air, but you increase your chances of stopping them cold if you time your button press, especially with how lackluster interior defense has been this year. Now, the most important way that you need to master to generate steals is playing the ball hand of the guy who's dribbling. Focusing on his ball hand naturally will keep you aligned in a way and not overrun the ball handler because you have a fixed target, and let you take advantage of opponents who are being lazy with the ball or who expose the ball right into your lap. Now again, I mentioned you can catch your opponent sleeping and being careless with the ball by going through the motions, like bringing the ball up the court. There's a high likelihood they're going to keep the ball on a certain side for a bit, which is why it's so easy to try and run up on them and take their cookies. Or more so knowing where they're going to go and being predictable in their movements. Let's say against a pick and roll. On the lower levels, you know if they're on the left side of the court and the screen is going towards the middle, the ball's going to be in their right hand. So you can help yourself out by just running up on them and hitting steal with the on-ball defender or switching to the hedge guy and doing so. Another example of guessing their next move is depending on where the rest of your teammates are. You can pretty much tell where he's going to bring the ball back the other way and expose it to you, or try and streak to the open part of the court if it's open. If my opponent passes to somebody coming up the court on the sides, 9 times out of 10 they're going to try and force baseline. So position yourself to play that hand. So if he's going right, play his right hand more than his left, and vice versa on the other side of the court to get a jump on what he's probably going to do. They throw the ball into the corner. If they put the ball on the ground, they're going to try and shake you and go baseline a lot of the time. So play that and be ready when they attempt that spin move or crossover. If you're stoning that drive, sometimes I just stop moving with them so when the animation ends, I wouldn't have overrun them and I'm basically waiting for them to try and cut back the other way. Now again, this doesn't work 100% of the time, obviously. Better gamers know that you know you're expecting them to go a certain way and they don't. But predicting what to expect based on where everybody on the court can and cannot help you does put in your mind where you're gonna need to be in a second and helps you adjust when proven true. And lastly is being aware when it's time to manual switch. Now there's a dedicated button to force a manual switch on defense, but I'm going to be talking about the annoying situations where your opponent runs into one of your other teammates and as a result leaves their defender wide open. And because you're still trying to guard the initial matchup and don't realize this happens until it's too late, he just greened a wide open 3. So be aware whenever your opponent starts to get near any of your other defenders that a switch might happen. So head on over to the guy who now is left open and you will be surprised at some of the easy steals you get, as a lot of your opponents are basically conditioned now to pass immediately and shoot an open 3 once they realize what they just did to your defense. So alright sports gamers, I hope with this video you're a lot more aware of some of the situations you can capitalize on defense to create turnovers and get into your fast break game a lot easier. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to Sports Gamers Online for more NBA 2K22 content. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. Alright people, I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching and be good y'all.